Hi boys and girls, it's time for science story time. Today I'm going to read a book that we read before, but we're going to do a different experiment in a different part of the book. Maybe if you haven't watched the video Rolling Ramps, or you watched it a long time ago, you might want to go back and re-watch it after you watch this video. And then you'll have both parts of the book together in your head. This book is called Shapes That Roll, and it's by Karen Segal, and Steve Wilson did the illustrations. Shapes that roll, shapes that can't, shapes with slides that slant, shapes with sides that slant. Some shapes stack, some shapes don't. Watch out! Eggs and balls are shapes that won't. Shapes to throw, shapes to share. Shapes that dance in the air. Shapes for stop, shapes for go. A house has many shapes to show. Shapes that shine, shapes that freeze. Many shapes that grow on trees. Shapes that glimmer up above. Shapes that make you think of love. Shapes to open, shapes to close, shapes that stand along in rows. Shapes that tear, shapes that play, shapes help people find their way. A shape that's whole, a shape in pieces, shapes with many, many creases. Shapes are heavy, shapes are light, pillow shapes are sure to fight. Squares are round, circles are flat. Squares lie down and cubes are fat. Now you know shapes. How cool is that? The end. So I have a whole bunch of shapes, and we are going to try stacking them and seeing which ones stack and which ones don't. Let's see. Let's start with some cubes. I have some blocks that are cubes. Let's see if I can stack them up. Yes, cube stack. My cube stack very good. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cubes in a stack. That's awesome. I can knock them down if I want to, but they don't knock down on their own. Let's try a different shape. Let's try cylinders. Here's a cardboard cylinder, and here's another cardboard cylinder. Will they stack? Let's see. Let's put that cylinder down, and let's put that cylinder on top of it. Nope, they rolled. They would not stack. Let's see. What if we use a metal cylinder instead? Here's my cylinder, and here's a cylinder on top. Oops, that went down. That wouldn't stack either. What if I turn my cylinder this way, though, so it's not on its side now? Will it stack? Yes, they'll stack. They'll stack on their flat sides, but not round in their middle. Some shapes are like that. You can turn them around, and they'll do different things when you turn them. Now I have an arch. Where arches stack? Let's see. I'm going to put them just like that. Yes, my arches stacked. They got right in the center and they didn't fall down. But you know what? Do you notice that just like my cylinders, my arches have a round part? Let's see if I put the round part down, they'll stack. Let's see. Biggest one on the bottom. You know what? No, let's put the smallest one on the bottom. There we go. And what happens if I put them like that? Ah, they stacked for a little bit, but then they got too heavy. Let's see what happens if I put the biggest one on the bottom. Well, that's stacked. Yes. If I put the biggest one on the bottom, they stack. If I put the smallest one on the bottom, they don't stack. So sometimes size is important, and sometimes which direction you put the shape is important. Remember when I stacked the cubes, I had the letters and the numbers, the colorful sides facing you? What if I turn the cube around and stack them with the plain side facing you? Let's see if I can still stack 5 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I still stacked 5 of them with the cube. It doesn't matter how you turn it because all the sides are flat. So we did arches and cubes and cylinders. And let's try a triangle. The triangle has a slanty side. And here's another triangle with slanty sides. What happens if I balance the triangle on the triangle? Nope. What happens if I balance the big triangle on the little triangle? Oh, that didn't work at all. I wonder if I put a different shape on the triangle. What if I put the triangle down and I try to balance a cylinder on it? What will happen? Nope, didn't stack. Okay. What if I try to balance a cube on it? Here's a big cube. Fell right off. That didn't stack at all. What if I make the cube smaller? Still doesn't work. Okay, so let's try an arch on my cube. I wonder if an arch on my cube would work. I mean, an arch on my triangle. I got to keep my shape straight. I'm talking about so many of them, my head's getting mixed up. Yes, that did work. My arch stacked on my triangle. And I can stack another arch on top of that. And another one on top of that. But what if I turn it upside down so the curved side is on the bottom? Will it stack? Nope. So we did lots of shapes today, and you sure some shapes stacked no matter what you did. Some shapes, it depended on what side was down or what side was up. Some shapes didn't stack no matter what we did. And some shapes, it depended on what size was on the bottom or what size was on top, if they were bigger on the bottom or smaller on top. So I hope you look around your house with your grown-up and you find a bunch of things that are different shapes that your grown-up says it's okay to play with, and you try stacking them different ways and see if you can figure out which shapes stack and which shapes don't. And also that you look at the Rolling Ramps video so you can get an idea of other experimenting you can do with the same shapes that you find. Bye, boys and girls.